Yeah, I'm a cyborg pterodactyl. Cyberpunk. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm good. I was at Goth stream just hanging out in voice chat while they're playing Mario Kart. I don't play that game. I don't play it anymore because I don't think my Switch is alive anymore. I haven't charged it like forever. Let me get some of my juice and then I'm ready to go. Are you going live in a bit? Oh, okay. I. All right. Give me a second. Prepare my drink. Alrighty then. The camera looking good. I miss my VTuber model. I can't use it during Tekken 8. Planning to go AMD for my next GPU. Yeah, because holy shizzle whizzle, why get a 3070 that's like 30k when you can get the same generation of AMD that's like 10k less? Oh, okay. Not much to talk about for me. It feels like rush down the video game now. It's something. Where are you going? I. Are we? I can be heard live. I thought we were muted. Somehow. Holy shit! Great background. Got that commissioned? That's so good. What you having for? You eating lunch? Ah. You now.
What's this now? Rev Major. If Josie result gets announced.
Oh, dude, we'll be popping off for real. I'll be the happiest guy ever. I'm like, I don't have to play King anymore.
With how every character has a very noticeable glow up, I want to see how Josie will look in 8.
Oh my god, get rid of that stupid ribbon. I gotta say, I think that's like one. Keep the short hair.
Yeah, the earrings and the necklace was a very good touch.
Yeah, probably make it smaller. Maybe it was a little too loud for me back then. But yeah, I think her overall design back then was a little okay, but it's almost it wasn't the best. We'll see what Harada has.
Yes, but anywho, hello.
Hey yo, everybody.
Welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. Hang on, let me just fix the top.
Yeah,
just a bit.
My little cyber buildings are breaking the shrine a little bit.
I know how y'all roll over there in Pacifica.
Still handling a leak that never fixes itself.
Yep. All right. Anyway, good afternoon, Foxtrots. Hello. Welcome. And of course, for those who are in the Pelapans, hope you are keeping yourselves dry, because today is very cloudy, and you know what that means? It's gonna rain, and where there is rain, there is traffic. And power outages and internet outages.
I'm generally hoping that doesn't happen.
Yep, same here.
I know there's another upcoming storm.
Yeah, apparently.
So,
anywho. All right. So today's topic is, of course, how is Street Fighter 6 1 month after its release? Now, for those who don't know, it is also colloquially called the honeymoon period of a fighting game. Now, Blue will help me out on this before we get to the meat of the topic. Some of you might be wondering, honeymoon period? That's a first. Well, not many genre of games have a honeymoon period. For example, games as a service won't really have a honeymoon period because their content should constantly be evolving and growing and being added. So a live service game is either thriving or it is stagnant. So there's no really honeymoon period. Another genre that can have a honeymoon period, even though it's not a fighting game, is an MMO. If you play an MMO for 1 paid month subscription or 2, that is really when you can, okay, is it worth digging my teeth into this or not? But the honeymoon period of a fighting game is very, very different. So, Blue, would you like to explain?
So usually honeymoon periods for fighting games, as far as I've like observed all throughout, it's just that due to the nature of fighting games being more about the competitive side of it, people discover things really quickly. At first, people are just gonna completely enjoy the game, discover gimmicks of every character and stuff like that, and really just have a genuine good time. But unlike like what you mentioned, like live service games and like games that are constantly being updated, just giving you something new, um, it keeps gamers on their toes. But unlike with fighting games, that just happens mostly on the start, like probably the first month. Most games, like say for example, Guilty Gear, everybody was so hyped when Soul Bad Guys Far Slash was such a broken move back then. And then
Was
everybody thought like Nagoriyuki was like the worst character in the game. And then eventually, once people starts learning a few more things, Nagoriyuki ended up being an absolute threat to the game. And you know, the and then this is where like the inevitability of like some fighting games, quote unquote death, sort of happens.
Mm,
So most fighting games do either thrive throughout the years, but the honeymoon phase ain't there because most of the player base would either just be involved. You rarely see the casuals anymore after like the first 3 months, but you're definitely gonna see the veterans staying, the main stain guys, the pro players, and some dedicated content creators for said games. So that's something, that's definitely something not like what you mentioned, like MMORPGs, live service games like Fortnite and stuff like that. They're constantly giving stuff for the game.
mm.
But like for fighting games, even if they throw in DLC characters every once in a while, you already have a initial roster that people have already figured out from the get-go. And then the entry point for fighting games tend to be a little harder. No one So that's why even Maximilian dude has pointed out like when is it the best time to try out the fighting game, and he's just being realistic by saying on launch.
Yeah.
It's always you experience the game at its best during launch.
Yep.
And I think in the end of the day, that's how I personally enjoy fighting games. But whenever the only time you most of the time, like I think a good generous amount of like 80% of the time, you'd see people staying for a fighting game is because they really want to get good at it. They want to they want to be like a pro player at it, or they just want to squeeze it out as much content as they can. So I think those are like some of the only reasons why you'd want to stay. But in this topic, now that we're talking about the first month of Street Fighter 6, I think at some point they're doing their best to be able to break out of this particular stigma.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're gonna be able to discuss even further into this podcast, like how it could not be the possibility and how it could be the possibility.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, to add to what you said earlier, compared to other games that have DLC, not just multiplayer, but even single player games, the only thing that fighting games realistically could add are characters. That's it. And what I mean by add, I mean like of value. Okay, of value. Even if they had, say, like special costumes for characters in Guilty Gear Strive, it's still not the same value as adding a new character. It's kind of like how in, say, Fortnite, in addition to, say, seasons and game modes, skins, like cosmetics have a lot of value in those kinds of games. For shooters, of course, there are limited time modes, collabs, weapon skins. There we go again with cosmetics. Maybe if they are a hero shooter, they add new characters as well. And again, similar to fighting games, characters are really where the value is for those kinds of games.
True.
Now, in single player games, of course, you have expansions, side content, that kind of thing. But for fighting games, it's very simple, clear, straight to the point. It's characters. Characters is like the meatiest kind of content that can be added over the course of a fighting game's lifespan.
Right.
Now the funny thing is, like, again, before we get to SF6, it's very funny how fighting games have very different ways to tackle their DLC characters. Of course, the most common way, which is how games like Tekken, Strive, Street Fighter, they don't really focus on the DLC before the game is even launched. They focus on it after, and at best, you'll get like a roadmap of when said characters will be released, and you have like concept art.
Right.
But then again, there's also the rare case for Mortal Kombat. Like Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm Studios knows for a fact that one of their biggest draws is definitely the guest DLC characters, which is why before the game is even launched, they already announced the DLC characters that people will be getting in its first year, which is crazy.
I love that lineup so much.
Yeah, if you compare it to like how other fighting games deal with it, like Tekken 8 hasn't even released its full roster, but they're not showing us what the DLC is. And even when Strive was leading up to its launch, we didn't even know the DLC characters. We didn't even get a roadmap until the game launched. Then for Street Fighter 6, leading up to the launch, we did get a hint of a roadmap. And then we got the concept art of the DLC characters for the first year. So yeah, it's just very interesting how other fighting games have very different ways to tackle DLC characters. But anywho,
Yeah.
so first question for this talk. Well,
Right.
having played 1 month, would you tell newcomers to wait or hop in before the game ages?
Wow. Really good question there. Personally, if you ask my opinion on that, another point, because like, I kind of take Maximilian's word by like a Bible sometimes. But like, quite honestly, if I were to like hook people up into a fighting game, I'd tell them, just pop right in when you can. Because like, let's be real, they haven't gone to the route of free to play. They haven't gone through the route of like making it accessible, because in the end of the day, it's really that roadblock of a huge price tag that really hinders probably a good percentage of possible players to get into the game.
Yeah.
So most of the time, I'm just like, whenever I want to give them advice of like, when you want to start getting into a fighting game, I think the best time is just to, whenever you can afford it.
Yeah.
Like, please just don't force yourself to get into it. Don't worry about the FOMO. It's always just the best idea is just to get into it when you can afford it. Because quite honestly, there will be fighting games out there. Point an example, my dearly beloved DNF Duel. Most of the time, I would say, hey, best time to buy this game, best time to get into this game, just get it when it's on sale. And for Street Fighter 6, I will always recommend Street Fighter 6. I love Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
But like, what I generally hate about it's like this new standard AAA price that most games are getting nowadays because of how technically demanding it can be. So, it's always a case by case situation. The only thing that you probably missed out is the you probably missed out on the opportunity is the like what we said a while ago, the honeymoon phase of the fighting game. Because like I think in the end of the day, um, the honeymoon phase of a fighting game is where you get the most enjoyment because you learn with everybody. But it gets a little too tough when you try to get into the fighting game when everybody already knows what they're doing.
Yeah, very true.
So yeah, I think that's the best answer. Just get into it whenever you can.
Whenever you
But I would
can.
always advise that if you want the best bang of your buck, don't wait for a sale. Just get the game on day one, and then you will find what's so good about this game, along with everybody else you play with. Especially nowadays when online gameplay is just ridiculously accessible,
Yep.
and rollback netcode has become the standard for all fighting games, and you have access to play with literally anyone around the world nowadays. There's zero excuse to not be able. There's zero excuse to not get into a fighting game from the day one, so you miss out on FOMO unless you don't have the money for it. So there's two answers to that. The best answer, get the game on day one. But now that Street Fighter 6 is on its first month, just get the game whenever you can afford it. So yeah.
Well, for me, very good point. And for me, for Street Fighter 6, I would also agree that getting in early on a game, on a fighting game, is arguably the best time to get in. Because you are basically on the same level as everyone. Even
True.
those who are veterans, like, you are learning alongside them. Like, sure, they have years of experience of fighting games under their belt, but they are still learning a game. And this applies really with any genre of games, not just fighting games. But more so, definitely in fighting games, because it really is it's not a question of skill, it's a question of time. The more time you invest in a fighting game, the better you will get faster. So like the skill level of you 1 month after the game releases depends on how often you play in its first month. But it's not really a question of, can I be as good as a plat player or a diamond player or a master player? No, you can. You definitely can. It's not a matter of if. I honestly believe it's just a matter of when.
True.
And you'll have it easier in your definitely the first 1 or so months that a game releases, because everyone is still part of the learning curve. It gets a lot tougher to get into the higher ranks. Like, if you want a very definitive answer of like, yeah, Yoko, when does it really get really fucking tough? 1 year at best. Like,
Sure.
1 year after the game releases, everyone who's been playing the game for even just like 8 months in, so 4 months before the game turned 1 year old, they have learned a hell of a lot, and you have so much to catch up on. Like, people will discover a lot of tech on the first week, second week, and then they'll be experimenting with that for the first month. And then over the course, that kind of tech in a fighting game will be changed, improved, downgraded, upgraded, fixed, tweaked, bugged, nerfed, whatever, over the course of 1 year. And people will have already made the most of it by then.
True.
But 1 year after, you still have to learn that. And then whatever new stuff they learned over the course of 1 year, you will also have to learn that. It's that is fighting games by design. I mean, if you compare a fighting game to, say, something like Overwatch and Apex, where new heroes, whatever, you have to learn new abilities and whatnot. Think of it this way. On average, a hero in a hero shooter has at most 3 abilities. If you count Valorant as one, so 4.
True.
So there's just 4 abilities. But fighting games, you're not just worried about 4 attacks. In Street Fighter 6 in particular, you have to worry about 6 buttons, and then all the characters' specials, and then all of those in the context of like counter hit, drive rush,
The variety of it from being light, heavy, and medium.
yes, light, heavy, medium versions as well. OD. There's just so many layers in a fighting games, and this is Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about like Guilty Gear Strive or Street Fighter 5, DNF Duel, hell, even Tekken 7. Like,
True.
I see a lot of people like, oh my god, there's so many moves, and like, oh my god, Cammy has so many moves, and me, a Tekken player. Yeah. I remember one of the simplest move lists in Tekken has like 50 or 60 different moves.
True.
And I'm like, yeah, a lot of moves.
That's a thing, right? Like I want to expand on your comparison to like Valorant.
Yeah.
Because like I think in the end of the day with Valorant, it's you can like I remember when Gecko was released, and he was just so easy to play because considering like you don't really go through too much layers of the game considering the characters, right? Because the core essence of the game is just getting the right shots, getting the right plans with your team and stuff like that. The core essence of the game doesn't change.
Yep.
Unlike with fighting games, you have to peel one too many layers when a new character comes out. Like when Rashid came out, right?
Yeah.
Holy, like he was, well, I wouldn't. He was broken. There was a problem. There was a bug, but it was already removed really quickly from Street Fighter 6. But like the matchup knowledge takes a while to learn, right? That's one thing. If you're looking at it in the perspective of like, oh, I'm maining Manon, and I gotta know whenever times I can do whatever I want to do. But unlike with Valorant, like, oh, okay, so Gecko does the molly, Gecko does the blind, Gecko does the wingman that plants the thing, and then his ult that does this incredible stun. And that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we go back to the shooty core aspect of it. I think the word that we're emphasizing is the core aspect.
Yeah,
of
core
the game.
mechanic. I was gonna add that. Like,
Yeah.
even if you don't know what, say, Deadlock does, even if she only has 4 moves, the core mechanic of a shooter is to point that crosshair and click. It's execution. It's just really good execution. Knowledge check is very, very minimal.
Very minimal. I agree.
But in a fighting game, knowledge check is just as important, and most of the time even more important than your own execution. You can actually compensate for like your slow reflexes or your poor execution with just raw knowledge. And yeah, so far everything that you guys have pointed out in like Twitch chat is like a really good point. I mean, like, after a year, there are so many YouTube guides on how to play this character, that character, or like path from iron to master with this character and stuff. Oh yeah, very interesting point that Miko mentioned. 20% rule still applies. Even if there are a ton of things to know about, 80% of what you'll really need to know are in 20% of it. Yeah, you don't need to know everything.
True.
Like, most of what you need to know is about 20% of what the game teaches you. Which is, I mean, like I said, a very good metaphor, Tekken. Look at a move list. Like, this character has 120 moves. Yeah, you'll realistically be using like maybe 10 or 15 of those.
Man.
So the question is, why then give 120? Because, as described really well by a Tekken commentator, you can fight 100 Asuka players. Not one of them will play similarly to each other. That's the point. There are some people who will use every move in the move list. There are some who will only use the safe ones. There are some who will use more of the risky ones. And the list goes on. A combination of both. But either way, the amount of information you can use really affects how you can play the game. I mean, again, this can be applied to Street Fighter 6. You can literally encounter a Manon who does nothing but grabs. You can encounter a Manon that does nothing but strikes. Like, not even will start the match with one medal and will end the match with one medal. They will not grab you once. It is possible.
Come to think of it, though, now that you mentioned the core aspect of a fighting game and the whole 20% rule too, right? I think there's only one fighting game that does not follow that, and I think it's Smash.
Smash, yeah.
Yeah, because like Smash's core aspect is just basically, every up special does the same thing. It's a recovery move. Every side special does something else.
It's very straightforward. It really is execution. I mean, your standard A buttons, like, you don't need to know how plus or minus it is, how much damage it does.
Oh, no.
No, you don't. You know that a side smash, up smash, down smash, you know what it does. Like, it just will hit you out of the screen at high percentages. Like,
Bless
literally, thank you. Like Mario's fireball. Yeah, Samus has a fireball. The Spaceys have a fireball. Like, they're all practically the same. Now, again, for any Smash player in the chat, well, Yoko, actually... No. Hang on. They are projectiles. I know they interact differently. Well, Mario's fireball bounces, and then Samus's, you can charge it for a lot of damage, and Space CC just pew pew. But for Wolf, there's like a startup of a melee and then the fireball, and then for Falco, it's slower, but it makes you flinch. Yeah, I get it. Okay, I play Smash, but here's the thing: what is the universal thing about the B button? If it's ranged, it's a projectile, and what do you want to do? You want to dodge that shit or block it.
Yeah.
It's the game plan is generally the same. Like when you fight Mario, Samus, and Fox. Like if it's the question of what do I do with their B button? Don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
It's a ranged thing. Don't get hit. Now, when does the depth change? When you question, like, what are their other moves?
Yeah.
Like, Mario's best move is his throw into combo string.
Yep.
The Fox is basically just spacing you out really good buttons in neutral and whatnot. Samus is, well, a lot of her buttons reach far, slow, hit hard, and the tether grab. So yeah, that's when it gets different. But generally, how you fight a character in Smash, it's different because you care more about what you are going to do than the opponent.
Yes.
But in conventional fighting games, you have to be like, what's my opponent gonna do? In Smash, you can literally turn your brain off in regards to what's the opponent gonna do. No, you're not gonna care. You just want to do your own thing. That's what matters in Smash. But in fighting games, different from Smash or more conventional ones, knowing what your opponent is going to do is very, very important. True. The only game that I think is in the middle ground between the two is actually Tekken.
I agree.
Tekken, you can really, like, you don't really need to know what your opponent's going to do, what their game plan is. Like, even if King is your opponent, like, yeah, King's a grappler, I know he's gonna grab me. But because of how the game is designed, like, generally the plan is the same. Don't get hit. Condition my opponent. Do some crazy combos. That's it.
I would also like to add too that I think that also parallels a little bit with Guilty Gear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Guilty Gear's you can get away with a lot of with like a lot of BS in that game. Like in comparison to like Street Fighter 6, right? Is that it's hard to BS your way into a victory. It's generally really hard, and usually that's my game plan. That's why I'm probably struggling with Manon to get into higher ranks, because I'm still trying to just BS my way into victory. But like, it's starting to show, like in the first month of Street Fighter 6, going back to the topic, right? It's starting to show like how Street Fighter has been designed in terms of its core mechanic, wherein it's really more of a chess game out of most of the fighting games we played so far.
Yep.
Wherein, sure, you can do this, you can do that, but you can't just keep doing this again and again and then expect it to work. Unlike with other fighting games, like, well, yeah, Tekken, you can always get away with the same stuff again and again. Guilty Gear, depends on your opponent sometimes if they kind of know their stuff, but I think in the end of the day, Soul Bad Guy's DP is amazing, and it's funny when you just keep landing it in the same time. But like whenever you try to BS your way into a win with Street Fighter, it's really difficult, and it's starting to feel like more of a chess game more than anything else. Sometimes, because like due to like the new mechanics of Street Fighter 6, it starts to blur the lines of like making it into a chess game. Because I remember Street Fighter 5, that was a chess
Same.
game and a half.
Yeah.
That was a chess game and a half. But with Street Fighter 6, there's still a little bit of like room for BS for you to kind of win, right? Like I would quote Miko on this, right? Because every time I play Manon, and there will be times where he would, I would just clear around because of just really, really funny guesses.
Yeah.
And then he would call it, a Manon round,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like what Miko says, it's just the right amount of anime fighters. It's just the right amount.
I mean, if there's one thing I will not change, it's how I play characters. I just enjoy it. I mean, anyone who's faced my Zangief, if you know the thing you'll hear the most out of my Zangief, here I come, here I come,
Here I come.
here I come.
It's time to get serious. Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, like yesterday, I drive rushed thrice into a Marissa level 3 and she got grabbed. I drive rushed thrice in her face and she just
God.
blocked.
Oh my god.
But anyways, back to the topic. So yeah, next question. What are your complaints so far about SF6? 1 month after, right?
I'm so vocal about this. Please fucking fix the rank system. Please.
Oh my god, I agree.
I will not shut up about the stupid rank system,
The
for
rank
fuck's sake.
system is out of whack, dude.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I have to agree with that shit.
Okay, all right. Let's try to compare and contrast Street Fighter 6 rank system with every other rank system in existing fighting games. Okay.
Yeah.
I will at least give credit to Street Fighter 6. It's not as bad as Smash's Smash's rank system, or more importantly,
There's
a very
rank
good
system?
There is Elite Smash. Hello.
No, that's my point, dude.
It's
There's
easy.
a rank system. What
That's the
rank
only
is there? There's only rank, Smash, and Elite. That's
And
it.
the Elite.
What's the,
And
there's no ranking system.
And of course, the most controversial one that everybody loves talking about, fucking Guilty Gear Strive's rank system is just complete ass in comparison to
So
Street Fighter
yeah,
6.
there are 3 ranks: Towers, high, low celestial, and high celestial.
That's it. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it.
That's it.
Okay, stupid.
but let's talk about Street Fighter 6's rank
Street Fighter
system.
6, yeah.
So
You wanna
like
start?
I definitely want to start
Do
with
it,
this one
dude.
because this is where my grievances are most of the time. Okay.
A lot of us really hate it, but you.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, Street Fighter 6's rank system is probably I would say the best word to describe it is unforgiving, right? So I would like to put it into parallel to Tekken 7's rank system, right? The moment you get a rank, you at least enjoy the rank, right? You at least enjoy that new little title that you got, unless you have a significant amount of losses that would bonify your to why you lost your rank, right? In a sense, you worked your way all the way to like say for myself in Tekken 7 to Brawler, and I'm pretty happy with this. This is nice, and Tekken 7 has a way to like make you keep it. Street Fighter 6 is like, hey, congrats on your plat 4. You might want to get rid of that real quick because I'm going to pair you with a plat 5 who is probably has more experience than you. The thing with, okay, so this is something, I don't know if anyone else has been going through this, but this is something I go through all the time, and a lot of people in my chat has been noticing this trend.
Okay.
That, say for example, the requirement points for plat 4 is 16,600, correct? And every time I'm at that very, very small amount of points at plat 4, right? Before, whenever you're exactly 2 losses away from D ranking, for some obnoxious, odd reason, I'm always paired up with someone from plat 5. It's consistent. It's oddly very consistent and frankly annoying. So I'm like, how much work how much, if you go through my streams, like, sorry for like throwing it out there, like, go through my VODs.
It's fine.
Okay, so like going through my VODs, right? It's oddly consistent that I'm always paired up with someone ridiculously higher in, well, quote unquote elo system whenever I'm just about to lose my rank. The moment I'm somewhat in the middle or like close to the middle of the rank of plat 4, that's where I'm starting to get paired up by people who are actually in plat 4. And I'm like, wait, hold on a second, this ain't right. So I don't get to enjoy my rank. I don't get to, like, I understand grinding a particular rank into the game. I understand, like, how much effort you have to pull into trying to get yourself into a higher rank. But sometimes it's just starting to look a little unreasonable for you to just lose twice the moment you rank up and then gain it again. It's frankly quite an annoying feature of the game. I don't know if anyone else has been voicing this out. I'm sure a lot of Street Fighter 6 players have been noting this, right? And the whole logic of saying shit like, oh, if you're losing your plat 4, you probably don't deserve it. Fuck that. Like, I think in the end of the day, I think it's good to have whatchamacallit, it's good to have a little bit of time enjoying the new rank you just got, and it's at least give me an 8 lose streak to get back to where I came from, because I think that's reasonable. I think Strive does it better. if anything, Strive does it better before you get into like a floor demotion, right? Well, I'm not exactly sure what are the requirements of how many losses do you have to get through before you get D-ranked from Strive.
I think that is a flaw in its system. Like, they should tell you when you're about to get demoted.
Okay, I mean, true, but like, but the thing with Strive, right, despite of you not knowing when, it feels like you deserve getting your rank down. Unlike with Street Fighter 6, right, wherein you just got your rank, your shiny new star, and then you're like, hey, how long can I keep this? And then the game's like, maybe not.
No, yeah. Capcom, when they see Blue like get promoted to plat 4, it's just immediately,
here's a plat 5 guy for you.
yeah, Blue just starts the match. He's a plat 5 Zangief.
Oh my god. Here's the plat 5 Honda played again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm literally like, my mood shifts from like, I'm having a good time to like, please help me. It's good though, okay, but I will give credit where credit is due, right? On the lower ranks from iron to gold, it rewards you for win streaks.
A lot.
By a lot. And observing and right, going all the way to the higher ranks on diamond, you get hella rewarded for beating someone in master. Shout outs to Miko in the chat for getting master rank last night, for beating that master loop that got you the rank up. So at least at some point it gets a bit more rewarding when you're in diamond. But this freaking black hole in plat is the most frustrating part of this game. I'd like to point out that Miko even mentioned, right? Let's be real. Grinding plat is harder. He says also himself in his experience in Diamond. Grinding plat is harder than grinding in Diamond, which is by far for me the most confusing concept in a rank system in a fighting game I've ever heard, because it makes sense, because you're being matched up with, when you're in Diamond, you're being matched up with Diamond 3, Diamond 4, 5, and then you get massive amount of points from beating them. But when you're in a weird spot in Plat 3, 4, and 5, right? You're not rewarded for shit.
I'm like 61 points. I'm like, okay. And I look at the top 9 win streak. I'm still only getting 61 points. Don't they want me to get out of Plat 3? So
Exactly.
I can stop making the Plat 3 guys suffer, because I think I'm clearly Plat 4.
Yeah. It's like, let's be real, right? We've played with Chaos, who's in Master. We've played with, with XL, who's currently in Master as well.
Yeah.
Right? We're more or less in their skill level at this point. Right? We're more, I'm not speaking for myself. I'm shit. But but we're more or less at least in the same mindset and the same amount of growth as our friends who are definitely in the top of their game. Right? I think the rank system at Plat is very troublesome. They just kind of need to fix that a little bit more. Other grievances in Street Fighter 6 aside from the rank system, I guess, optimization. I want to play World Tour so bad. And oh my god, why is the tutorial the laggiest thing ever? Like, it's laggier than the cutscenes. And yeah, I think that's my only gripes with Street Fighter 6. Everything else about Street Fighter 6 is fantastic. Plat grind is hell on earth.
Well,
Yeah.
I will
How about
add
you?
to your ranking system. Now again, he brought up the Guilty Gear ranking system. I'll go a bit in depth with Tekken. Whenever you get promoted, you are placed at 50% progression to the next level. When you get demoted, it's the same thing. So the argument is that basically, let's use a metaphor of like 5 matches to promote, 5 matches to demote, because you are at 50% progression, right? So if I get from Eternal Ruler to Divine Ruler, or whichever's higher, so 50%, I'm 5 wins away from the next one. I need to lose 5 games in a row to someone roughly my same rank, and they will adjust. So let's say I'm fighting some guy lower than me. I will not get the standard 1,200 points. I'll get 800. If I lose, I don't even lose more than I usually would. I would lose slightly less. But if I get someone placed higher than me, I actually gain like 1,006, which is 400 points more. And then if I lose about 600 or 400, because like, duh, I was supposed to lose this. But if I fight someone in my rank, I will gain 1,200 and then I'll lose 800, which sounds fair. And then when I get demoted, basically, how do I get back? Oh, you just gotta win those losses back, because when you get demoted, you're at 50% progression. So you lost 5 matches that got you demoted. Well, you gotta get those 5 back. But what about you? Let's say Blue was at the precipice of getting demoted and he had an 8-loss streak. He does not have to win 8 wins. He just has to win 5, because that's the progression. He got demoted after winning 8 times, so he gets his rank lowered. And if he faces someone on his previous rank, which is higher, which is where he deserved to be, and then he won 4 in a row or 3 in a row, he gets so much points that he's just back in that immediately. And the thing is, like, Chaos, even though SF6 has it, it's not consistent.
True.
It's not consistent. I mean, again, before the Rashid update, I had like an 8-9 win streak on Plat 2 or 3 as Cammy and Marissa. 2 different characters. I was still gaining the same amount of points. And it didn't matter if I fought someone on the same or higher level than me. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, this is weird. I don't even know how to describe it other than weird. I don't know if this is a bug. I don't know if this is how they designed it, but it feels hella weird. Because coming from Tekken's ranking system, I'll even argue it's not perfect. At the very least, it's consistent.
True.
Higher person against you, win big, lose small. Same person as same rank as you, win the same, lose the same. Your opponent is ranked lower than you, win small, lose small. It's consistent. I know what I'm getting. So if I fight someone consistently lower ranked than me, I have to lose 6 times, but I have to win 6 times. Same rank, I have to win 5, I have to lose 5. If I keep fighting someone higher than me, I have to win maybe 4, I'll have to lose maybe 5 to 6. But it's consistent. So again, the ranking system, I think we'd be less pissed if it was just fucking consistent.
Sure.
Like, are you really going to... I just got the Plat 4. Are you really going to make me face a Plat 5 every time? If that is really that design, that better be the case 100% of the time. Because if it's not, like, that just shows how weird and flawed it is. And again, overall, once they get the consistency right, you have to think about the fact that let the players enjoy their new rank for a bit.
Yeah,
Like,
please.
for one, they can, like, people can argue you just got lucky. Okay, even if I got lucky, can I at least enjoy this rank a bit? Or even then, even if I got lucky, how can I learn from my new rank if I get thrown back to my previous rank so fast? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
Exactly.
imagine, like, okay, let's just hypothetical here. I'm pretty sure this is not how it works. Hypothetical. How can Blue learn diamond level play if after 2 matches, 2 losses, he gets thrown back to plat? How will he learn? He can't. He
can't.
Physically can't. Like, even if Blue doesn't mind, like, I don't think I'm ready for diamond. So right now, his goal in Diamond is not even to stay in Diamond. He just needs to learn from Diamond level play. But how can he learn if he can't even stay there for more than 2 to 3 matches?
True.
There are times in Tekken where I'm like, I don't think I should be in purple ranks yet. I have like a win streak and then suddenly a lose streak. Sometimes I get promoted and demoted. But because I am in purple ranks long enough, I learn. So, the next time I'm there, I'll either lose less or win more often. Which is roughly the same thing. But anyway, basically, your experience there is going to be better the next time you are there. But the problem is, how can you even learn to play on that level if you are just blam, you're not there?
Yeah.
You're just gone after 1 or 2 losses. Like, and then when you get to Plat 5, like the highest person you'll face there is Diamond 1 or Plat 5, and most of these Diamond 1s were former Plat 5s. I mean, I guess a good metric of what a true Plat or Diamond player is the median. Like Plat 3, Diamond 3. That's a real Diamond Plat player. Because, I mean, it's... I know this term came from Siege, but like when you say fake plat, it's because they just got promoted from gold, so they're not really plat players, or fake diamond. And it's very derogatory. I don't like using it. But in this case, it's just such a fitting metaphor because like, yeah, most of the time, like if I get promoted to like diamond, say, I'm like, I don't feel like I should be here. Not because I'm so good, but because I'm trash. I just bullshitted my way to diamond. But how can I learn how to play like a diamond player if after just 2 matches, and not just 2 long matches, okay? I mean 2 matches, 2 short matches, like a sip of water and then blank wins. After 2 of those, bam, you're back to plat. Like, what the fuck?
Chaos is like putting on some good points too as a counter argument, right? The thing Chaos is saying is that it's the grind won't be the grind involved in plat in Street Fighter 6 could be okay. I mean, in its current set could be okay from what I'm understanding so far. But like, what we're trying to point out here is that, sure,
we don't want to remove the grind. We just want the grind to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
we're not asking to be spoiled.
MMOs exist because they know that people love to grind. It's not that the grind is like grinding intrinsically is bad, but what's the difference between grinding for 100 hours for a cosmetic that does jack shit, and then 100 hours for something that actually affects gameplay? And here's the thing, people will chase both because there are different players. That's totally fine. But in fighting games, it's clear cut as day. There's casual matches and ranked matches. People who don't care about their ranks, they can enjoy their place in casual matches. But people who want to tackle the grind of ranked, they go there for ranked. And again, I have grinded ranks in Tekken 7. It is way more fun. It's way more fun. Because when I get punished, I deserve it. If I get rewarded, I deserve it.
Yeah.
But in Street Fighter 6, there are times when I get punished, I'm like, yeah, definitely. And there are most times I'm like, really? I just lost 1 bad match, now I'm demoted? Wait, excuse me?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. Because like, let's go back to Guilty Gear Strive too, right? Like what you mentioned, what you mentioned a while ago, the basic clear-cut way of like what a good ranking system should be is like, if I lose just enough, I think I forgot how you worded it, but like, if I get punished, I get punished. If I win, I get rewarded. That's basically it, right? It's with Guilty Gear, I clearly remember as light as day that the rank system from floors 4 to 10 was genuinely good. Like, you're matched with people with almost the same skill level. Sure, the celestial problem will always be a problem and will always be
what it is. At this point.
It's a meme at this point. But in the earlier days of Strive, right, rank felt good.
It did.
Right? It felt very good. And then whenever when you're grinding, you get your rank up, great. If you're grinding and you lose, you feel like you deserve that fucking B rank. Unlike with Street Fighter 6, I'm like, how the hell did I deserve Plat 3 after... Like, how the hell did I deserve Plat 3 when I just got Plat 4? How in the heck did I... What did I do so bad to deserve this? Like, a two-loss streak shouldn't mean too much. And I think the metric behind losing, right? I want to point it out, the metric, right? Why is it uniformly minus 40? why is it uniform? Like, look.
Actually, yeah. Wait. Sorry. To add to that, actually, Chaos. I disagree that a solution is to add a few more divisions. I don't think so. No. I really think across a lot of competitive games with ranked systems that I have played, like, even a slight difference, let's say 61 points is what you get for winning in Plat. By default. Regardless if you got a perfect twice in a row, or you woke up level 3 twice in a row for 2 rounds. Let's say it's a 2-0, a 2-1, you still get 61 points. You get 0-2'd, 1-2'd, perfected twice, you still lose 61 points. Okay, that's a hypothetical system now, right? I do not like that in the sense that you can work your ass off and you get the same reward if you didn't work your ass off. I don't like that. Like, here's the thing. If there's one thing that I learned from my 1,000 plus hours in Siege, like, I never lose or gain the same amount of points in each match. There are some matches where I get smashed. The first time I get smashed, I'm like minus 100. And then the second match, it's like minus 95 because it's like, okay, maybe it wasn't your fault this time. And then like when I smash the enemy team on the next one, it's like plus 110. And then if it was a close one, it's more like 90 or sometimes 95. I do not know how they're able to calculate how many points you should get, but it just feels odd to me how the difference between me working my ass off for a win and me not working my ass off for a win at all, brain dead, I gain the same amount of points. I'm like, is the game really coded to just, oh, you won 61 points. Oh, you lost 61 points. Is that really it?
Yeah.
I cannot speak for other games because, I mean, even for Tekken, it's practically a fixed amount. It's like there's no even one digit or anything. It's just like 400, 600, 800, 1, 2, 1, 6. Most of the time. It's very rare that there are numbers in between. It's very, very rare. It will get to that point. It is inevitable. Okay, here's the thing though, Chaos. We mentioned this earlier, like the honeymoon period is a very important period. Lots of people will ditch a fighting game if the first month is just not good.
True.
Now again, there are people like us, because we love fighting games, we're gonna stick through this as long as we want to or we think it deserves. And again, in any game, your casual player base is always your largest.
It's your lifeline.
It is your lifeline. If there are not enough casual players or just normal video game fans that will play your fighting game, you will just run out of people to like
milk money out of.
No, not even milk money out of, but matchmaking.
There you go.
Look, if I were to describe what is a very good graph, and people will hate this graph, but from a competitive standpoint, it makes sense. Let's look at the ranking system, right? So there's iron, bronze, silver, gold, plat, diamond, master, right? Now basically the graph should go as this. As the player count goes from iron to about gold, it should be going up. And then the peak of like player count in terms of like rank should be about gold 4 to plat 2. Once it goes to diamond and master, it should go down. So basically, you have more and more players going to middle or high middle rank, and then as the highest rank goes, the player count should drop. That is a very good design, and we want to keep it that way. Now, and I think even if they give point variance depending on how you perform, it's still going to be the same thing. I honestly think it's still going to be the same thing. Because here's the thing. But the gold players will just get better. Guess who gets better too? The diamond players. When those gold players who get better get the diamond, they'll just get thrown back to plat by those who were in diamond longer than they were. Basically, it's not really gatekeepy, but it's basically a balance.
Yeah.
It keeps things balanced. Basically, the plat players are what keep gold and gold. The diamond players are what keep diamond and plat. The difference is because the three, outside of masters, okay? Three, because of the top three ranks, gold, plat, and diamond is your largest chunk of players. Basically, there are so many players getting into gold, and then there's so many gold getting promoted into plat, and there's so many plat getting demoted out of diamond. See? So it just fluctuates. Those 3 ranks don't really change, they fluctuate. And even with point variance that I suggested, I think Street Fighter 6 will still have that. And again, it's just really all about enjoying the rank. So again, a fresh plat who got into Diamond, okay, he'll enjoy that rank on the Diamond 1, 2, and then he becomes a true Diamond. Alright? True Diamond. So what does this true Diamond player do? As he's grinding to Masters, he will keep fresh plat players in plat or low Diamond. Masters players will keep him in Diamond. And when these 2 players that I mentioned, the one that got demoted to plat by the new Diamond player, when they get promoted, they will do the same. So it doesn't really change. And because Masters just has an ELO ranking, there's no there's no rank higher than Masters. They'll just stay there. Now overall, what happens to the graph then if it doesn't really change? Not much. Sure, the number count will raise the general level by a bit, but it will not change the shape. The shape of gold, plat, diamond is still like a mountain with a very steep slope on the right that goes almost diagonally down.
And it should be that way.
It should be that way.
I want to point out something real quick too.
Yeah.
When it comes, I think a game that does rank very well when it comes to the master rank, right? Is, well, without tooting my own fucking horn, DNF Duel. I think DNF Duel does it so well, wherein they lock in deities to just 300, right? It being the highest rank achievable in the game is by far, bar none, probably one of the better ones in terms of ranking. Because like my rank experience in DNF felt so good, and every time I do D rank, it felt right. You know, it didn't spoil me. That's the thing. It really felt like I worked hard to get myself in the legend rank, the legendary rank, and the grind going to deity 300 or 300 plus feels like a possible thing, but in the same time, really a really hard grind. Well, now it won't be, considering the current player base, considering that it's only like 50 playing the game. But I think Street Fighter should probably take notes. Like, I think master rank and doing a proper elo system for the higher ranks, because I noticed like master does have a decent elo system, and when it comes to the points, that they're doing it right? They're just doing it right. But the only problem is the transitions from other ranks. I think what Street Fighter 6 would need to do is either one limit, like either make, like what Chaos would mention, right, another rank, but keep it limited, you know, keep it limited, or take something out of the textbook from Strive and do resets, maybe. What do you think about resets for rank? Like, say a new season comes out, everybody from Master goes back to Diamond 5.
They do that for Tekken.
Do they?
I know they do that for Tekken, like, to some extent. Your most played characters, depending on how much you've played it, they'll either stay the same rank if they are not in, like, Masters. But if you're in Masters, you'll definitely get thrown back down to, like, Diamond 5 or something of the equivalent. I think that's fair. And they only do that. They only do that every new season.
I think resets are fair, but you keep the points that you already had in Masters.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you're still in the leaderboard.
I think the only time I would justify a reset is, yeah, I mean, like in Tekken, like Tekken God Omega. I know people who were at like Tekken God Prime or something got, I think, demoted like one rank down, and then they had to work their way up again.
I think that's fine.
Hmm.
I think that's fine. Because I think where resets fail is okay. So for Miko, since Miko's just really not into resets, I think where resets is done very poorly is definitely Strive, right?
Oh yeah.
Like definitely Strive. And for Street Fighter, I think adding another rank above Master and then let that one be the one doing the resets should be the better call. I think one more tiny rank above Master should be good, but keep it limited like how they do it with DNF.
Hmm.
And keep everyone at bay at Masters, I guess, and then it resets. Because like I think resetting is a good way to like keep the elo healthy. I don't know how to explain that sorry, excuse me, numerically. But I think it just makes a lot of sense in my head.
Fair.
Anyway, so I think we've really gone into the deep end.
Well, I mean, like, it is our biggest complaint right now about Street Fighter 6. I mean, there are a plethora of, like, complaints we have, but for sure the worst is the ranked system.
Oh, boy. Yep. Definitely. Just mostly the ranked system.
Yeah.
And I guess Street Fighter World needs a bit more optimization. I think they completely forgot. The devs completely forgot about that game mode.
My God.
Because I'm like, wait, hold on a second. How am I having such a hard time fighting in this game when I can fight normally online with probably more assets and probably more good-looking characters and stuff like that? Like, why is this genuinely the laggiest experience I've ever had? I think they just need to re-optimize World, considering that I think that Street Fighter 6's genuinely very unique content is the world part of the game, the world tour.
Yeah.
Because this is where the casuals wants to play in, right? Like, this is where they will eventually learn the game, because it's by none designed to really make you understand Street Fighter 6, as far as my observation goes. Because anybody who has played World will always teach you like the bare essentials of Street Fighter, and I hope they do still kind of look into some bug fixes with World Tour, because like clearly, optimization is oddly enough the problem in that part. I know like the current player base is mostly playing rank, but I think in the end of the day, we still want those casuals coming in, even at the current lifespan of Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah, I agree for sure. All right, before we go into the brief intermission for a break, last question for part 1.
Yeah.
What would you say is a precedent that Street Fighter 6 has set with its launch that other fighting games should follow?
Wow.
I know this is just part 1, right?
Wow, I like this question a lot. Because like Street Fighter 6 did a lot of good things that a lot of other fighting game devs should definitely follow. Like, bar none. Again, like what I said, World Tour is a very good way to like have an entry point for people who have not played any kind of fighting game to really get into a fighting game. I think this is Arxis's biggest flaw is their entry point. Strive has zero content to keep casuals engaged in the game. DNF Duel has zero ways to keep casuals into the game. And Grand Blue may have that cool little RPG thing going on, but it was the most disinteresting feature I've ever found. But nice try, Grand Blue, nice try. Nice try. But I think what Capcom did with World Tour is just probably the piece of resistance when it comes to modern fighting games as an absolute tool to keep casuals playing the game. I guess like expanding into World Tour will be a good way moving forward with Street Fighter 6, because I believe that World Tour is a pretty short mode of the game. since DLCs are coming, they should definitely, like, Rashid definitely should be a coach. Rashid should definitely have a little segment in the game too. Incoming DLC should add more to the world tour story.
Yeah.
But definitely Street Fighter 6 for me. And I think Harada should definitely take notes when Tekken 8 comes out, because so far, we'll try to not talk too much about the network test, but if I'm just giving the fighting game bare bones and it's just a network test, okay, sure, I'll let that pass. But like, what I do want to know is what Tekken 8 has in store and other fighting games moving forward to keep casuals in bay. Like, say for example, whatever Grand Blue is coming up with in the next few months, right? They have like that Fall Guys thing going. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's really, really cool that they're having like extra game modes and stuff to have the casuals just enjoy, have a good time.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 does that really well with extreme battle system. I found that Zell found this out the other day too when he was playing Modern Luke in extreme battle. When you get random buffs in the game, and then he got limitless super meter, and then he's on modern.
Oh no.
He started mashing super, and it was like the funniest thing I ever heard of. So I'm like, I think what you mentioned, it's the precedent for future fighting games. They just really need that one game mode that will keep people in. And I genuinely think a good casual mode, and please don't let it be Tekken Bowling. Bring back motherfucking Tekken Ball from Tekken 3. That is ungodly good. It gives you an understanding of like your character's moves while playing a good game of volleyball without having to take your clothes off.
Yes.
So yeah, like what Miko said, like it's the actual full package game. It deserves a AAA price tag because of how feature packed it is, and it deserves, it's totally a precedent. And moving forward, most fighting games this point on, looking at you, Guilty Gear, if ever you're gonna come up with something new, is something casuals would definitely enjoy. How about you?
For me, Street Fighter 6 for sure. It's the modern controls. Not gonna lie. Here's the thing. Outside of the memes and the scrub quotes, people have severely underestimated the power of having accessible controls. I don't know if any of you tuned in on the CR Cup that Capcom had, where they had literally like pros. Like, it was a team. They had like 4 or 6 teams, I think. There were pros and VTubers there as well. And
I heard of this.
It was, I think, to date, it's like it drew the largest audience on Twitch for like a fighting game. Like literally in the hundreds of thousands. And it wasn't like a big tourney either. It wasn't Evo. It wasn't CEO or Combo Breaker. It was just the CR Cup. And it wasn't your standard tournament setting. It was team round robin battles. And this was only made possible because of, again, modern controls. Like, modern controls is a major appeal for those who want to try a very complicated looking game, but they just like the aesthetic, the vibe, and everything. They want to try it.
Can I add to that too? I like how modern controls is like a parallel to my life story when it comes to fighting games, right? Like, I think I mentioned this a bunch of times. Was when I was playing Smash and I mained Terry. And I tried to main Ryu or Ken back then. I was very I was very intrigued by what the fuck motion inputs was because I was alienated from that concept back then, right? And then I think modern controls is doing the same thing, right? Eventually, most of these modern players, in theory, like for myself, like for what I've experienced from transitioning from Smash to fighting games, is a good entry point to get them curious of what classic controls are, right? Like, man, I would like to dish out this amount of damage, and man, why are all the good players playing classic? I think modern controls is great to get casuals in, and at the same time make casuals think like, hey, they do cooler things than we do. I think I want to try. You know, what are these motion controls? These look very fascinating. What makes them so cool? And I generally think like, sure, modern controls is the meme, but I think in the same time it will just give them the enough peak curiosity to transition into classic controls probably sometime soon.
Yeah. And again, modern controls, people may love it and hate it, but it is what gets the foot in the door. Because until Street Fighter 6 actually started marketing and advertising their modern controls, people would just like, yeah, this game looks cool, but it's a fighting game. Because of their past experience with fighting games, like, they're not gonna get into it. But because of modern controls, they have.
Exactly.
And because of that, we have so many, like, there are more and more people, like, getting into Street Fighter 6 even this late, because after the honeymoon period, a lot of fellow casuals were like, yeah, I play on modern controls, it's hella fun. So yeah, again, because think of it this way. I know that the fighting game community is very gatekeepy, but I want to end part 1 on this note. You don't have to be a casual to listen to a casual. You don't have to be a hardcore to listen to a hardcore, and you don't have to be a competitor to listen to a competitor's opinion. Most of the time, a casual player will believe more what a casual player has to say about the game because they know they come from the same place. If a casual player says that Street Fighter 6 is fun, a casual player will believe them. If a casual player says that Street Fighter 6 is complicated, a casual player will believe them. And of course, I'll just give the example of gatekeepers. Like, well, yeah, no shit, that's because you suck, you filthy casual. That's coming from a hardcore veteran player, and I'm just like, guys, you don't understand their mindset because you're not part of that mindset anymore. But don't forget where you came from. All of us came from the casual mindset.
True.
And again, like, we all were casuals before. Every pro was a casual before. I'm pretty sure before Daigo broke the record for Darkstalkers, he was just like, hey, fighting game fun, press buttons.
Yeah.
Until, like, you know, competitive arcade boomed and then it became a scene.
Right.
But everyone started as a casual. So it just baffles me again that veteran players, or gatekeepers, sorry, not veteran players, these gatekeepers, like, are willing to just spit from their high horse as if they've been there since the very beginning. And I'm just like, dude, no. And again, like, do not discount every single opinion just because it comes from a different mindset. Like, again, I mean, we all have different complaints about Street Fighter 6. And the point is to, like, even if you disagree, at least try to understand.
Yep.
Like, again, there will be a lot of people that will agree with Unagi where she doesn't like the fact that, especially on low ranked, okay? Especially in low ranked, if she's playing on casual, she will face both casual and modern controls. And let's not lie to ourselves. There are advantages to playing on modern controls. There are advantages. There are clear-cut advantages. You know why? If you don't believe me, the pros themselves say that there are advantages. Mm-hmm. You know those meme videos that Justin Wong posts? Those are on modern controls. Like, oh no, I'm cornered. Yeah, you can do a level 3 without having to do a 720s Zangief. Your modern controls. Mm-hmm. And it's not because he's a casual, it's because he understands modern controls.
Simple.
So again, even like there are people who will agree with my opinion, Unagi's opinion, Blue's opinion, Miko's, Chaos, and we all have different opinions. But whenever we disagree, it's still like, okay, but I understand at least, right? Like, I mean, again, someone can tell Blue, all right? Someone can tell Blue, no, dude, Manon should keep her medals, and Blue can agree or disagree. But someone can also say, no, Manon should not be keeping her medals. Now, even with or without bias, Blue should at the very least understand where this player is coming from. And he does understand. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll go for a brief intermission. BRB, I'll get water, and I also have to answer a phone call.
I have to pee. Oh,
go ahead.
Right, see you in a bit.
Let me get water. BRB.
I am here to entertain the people during the intermission while Inari's in the phone call. And I just finished taking a piss. How's everybody in chat? Unagi, Elmo, Miko, Beanie, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome. It's really cold, and I like it. It's really cold now. It's got a haircut. Nice. Nice. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hold on, I'm just holding on to my seat. McDonald's. Yo, the McDonald's in my place, Unagi, has Happy Meals with Squishmallows. I gifted Flabby one, and it was like so cute and stuff. Squishmallow Happy Meals, but they're not like high quality Squishmallows. I wish it was cold, says PK. But the weather in Japan is so good though, like consistently. Like consistently. Spicy chicken McDeluxe is goated. Oh, I love McSpicy. McSpicy is great. McSpicy is hella great. Miko about to get a haircut as well. Aw. Can we imagine Miko and Beanie in the same barbershop? Real quick. And then they're like, you know, being bros hanging out in a barbershop. And just like, hey bro, nice haircut. And then Beanie's like, yo bro, I like your haircut too. And then Miko stares at Beanie's eyes. Bro. And Beanie says, bro. Oh my god. Tokyo summer suck. I had a summer in Tokyo. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Are you making a fanfic of us? I mean, Miko's already riding along, dude. Bro. Wanna hang out at the mall later, bro? Wanna watch a movie together, bro? Oh my god. You know, platonic broship is the best kind of broship. Platonic broship is the best kind of broship. Want to share hopes and dreams, bro? PK saying climate change. I feel it. Save the planet. I agree. I hella agree. Moment I get like the moment I, theoretically win the Capcom World Tour, I will put money on the environment. Promise. Want to share a controller? Miko X Beanie dynamic is great. I agree. You have ridiculously loud Miko and absolutely calm as fuck Beanie. It's perfect. It's just generally perfect. It's like the opposite sides of everything. You know? I think the Miko Beanie dynamic is probably the best broship that I could ever ask for. Who else do you guys want to see in a broship? Am I that? Yeah. If I can only make an impression of you, I would. You know? I would. Why does that sound kind of nasty, Miko Bean? Why does that Unagi? Bean Pod! I think Bean Pod works well. I think Bean Pod works well. Miko Bean sounds sexual.
Okay, I just got back. What did I miss?
We're so apparently Miko is about to have a haircut, and then Beanie just had a haircut, and I'm like picturing the scenario that they're both in the same barbershop, and then they're having a conversation, and they're just having their haircut, and then they're done, and then Miko's just like looking at Beanie saying, "Hey bro, nice haircut," and then Beanie is like, "Bro, you have a nice haircut too," and then Miko stares at Beanie saying, "Bro," and then Beanie stares at Beanie, Miko saying, "Bro." I like your gut, bro.
Oh my god.
Since we're still in intermission, Tekken 8, everybody, how is it? The Tekken 8, the Tekken 8 cunt. Everybody had a good time.
Fighting someone on fucking Wi-Fi is a mixed bag. But fighting someone on a fixed connection, if it says 4 bars, it feels like 4 bars. In a good way.
I agree.
Slightly better or almost the same as Tekken 7, but again, like, this is just the network test. So I think they are just testing if the connections actually work. So,
they're okay by my experience. I'm just like, why I don't feel too engaged with the game for some reason. Probably because Josie isn't in it. Probably just that. Too early to tell.
But yeah, like, I like how the heat system really makes 8 feel like a different Tekken game. It's still a Tekken game, down to its footsies and shit. But hot damn, like, the heat system is way better than I imagined it.
Oh yeah. You need to teach me a few more things. There's some things I do not understand.
Oh.
Probably sometime this weekend, probably on Sunday maybe, because like I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. And plus, you mentioned you were a King main, and King is the only one appealing.
Well, here's the thing. King is broken. What? King is broken. I'm gonna say this right now. King is busted. Because in Heat, I know it sounds weird, but when King is in Heat, his RKO is an anime grab. You cannot break out of it.
You can't?
You can't, and it's a 50-50 because he can launch you if you duck it. So I'm like, wait, busted, bro.
You need to teach me that, because like the RKO, I've been using the RKO a lot in the game. I'm like, okay, because like I know the point run thing is the thing to the RKO, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's such a fun mechanic. But
Dude,
like,
when you do that in Heat, it's unblockable.
no
When you do
way.
that in Heat, you can when you get grabbed, you're just grabbed. Like
Oh
it's like
my
it's
God.
like getting Potemkin Buster or SPD. You're like, yeah, you're getting grabbed. It's a command grab. There is no break from this. You're just grabbed. That's it.
Okay. Yeah,
This is
I
so
need to
funny.
learn this probably later tonight or Sunday, because yeah, I'm still playing more King. King is good.
King is hella good. I'm gonna try King later. Actually, yeah.
Like-
I've had a lot of fun with Lily the other day, but hot damn, I need to try. I need to try King because King's busted. King's
my-
fucking busted.
My B&B for King is launcher to grab to forward 2-1, or was it forward 1-2, and then, or sometimes when I have heat, launcher to grab to heat engager to forward 1-2, and then I'll just mix it up with the point run thing. That's all I have so far. That's all I have so far. But yeah,
In my opinion, no one is as busted as Kazuya or Jin.
really.
Dude, Kazuya has a 5-string, I think 12 frame punish.
Mm.
Or I think even 11. 12 frame punish, but it will definitely punish stuff on whiff. It's 74 damage. You can kill someone by punishing their whiffs 3 times as Kazuya. I'm like, no fucking way.
Okay. All right. I need to understand the fun of this game. I need you.
Oh yeah, don't worry. Like after like the shrine talk, I'm gonna take a break. Then I'm gonna go live with Tekken 8.
All right.
Because I'm gonna just do crazy shit with King. So we can kind of like co-host collab if you want.
I'll hop in when I can.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good enough break. Let's move on to part 2 of today's topic.
Yay.
Yes. All right. So, having 1 month already into the game, do you agree? This is very controversial. Do you agree with the price tag?
Yes.
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 Okay. I want to hear you justify the price tag. Having played 1 month, I want to hear.
Okay. So 1 month of playing Street Fighter 6. So far, I understand that inflation is a thing, and of course, things have to really go up in price. And at first, it was kind of mind blowing knowing that Street Fighter is going for the full AAA price, but the feature pack of this game is just the best so far in all modern fighting games. And I don't know like how other fighting games are going to compete against how they were able to like put into this game, right? Because I think at the end of the day, I generally think that how much is it in US dollars? Like $60-$70, right? The $70 price tag for a video game is kind of great. Think about it this way too, right? Back in the day, you know, a Game Boy game would cost you that much too, right? $70.
Yeah, they
right?
used to. They used to.
And if you think about inflation, a Game Boy game from back then would be probably almost double the price at this point in time, right?
Yeah.
So the argument of like games getting higher in price just kind of makes sense to me in an economic perspective, you know? Like I will always say there are some games that are definitely not worth its price tag, dude. Duel. But
You really had to just throw it in there.
what? I know I cuffed, man. I don't know what you're talking about. But like, I think at the end of the day, it just makes sense. You know, like games back then were too expensive, right? Were really expensive, and we didn't know what's a good price tag for games nowadays, considering there are free-to-play platforms, considering that there are AAA games that are just, you know, definitely worth the price tag. It's the feature richness of the game that really makes it worth your butt, you know? You have a metaverse better than, you know, Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse.
Okay.
That's one. You have a character customization and go ham wild. You have extreme battles that will keep people engaged. You got modern controls. You got dynamic controls. God knows what reason why you would do that. But like, I generally think like in this day and age, with it's reasonable. The developers definitely put really good work into this game. The developers definitely really went ham in terms of like keeping this game absolutely feature rich. And like, yeah, like let's be real. Games back then were in just the same price tag, and games back then were just as feature rich. Definitely deserves a price tag. I don't see myself complaining. You know, I don't see myself complaining. I personally worked hard for that money. I had the budget for it and everything, and it really felt like a good amount of money that was very much well worth it. I don't regret buying it at that kind of price. What I do have gripes on is the ultimate pass or whatever the hell that is. like okay. You I don't think having an ultimate or deluxe edition of the game is where you kind of throw it off now. That's where you're like, is it really going to be worth it if there are going to be DLC characters that I'm not going to be interested in? So it was really for me like a wise decision just to buy the base game. I had second thoughts. I had so much thought put into like, should I get the ultimate edition of this game, considering we ourselves as content creators should be covering all of these other characters for sure. Right? Back then when I was still doing the Guilty Gear Strive stuff, I always have like these lobbies open wherein we just play the new DLC character and no one else is allowed to play any other character, right? But I don't see where for Street Fighter 6 though, like I'm a little upset that you can't buy Rashid individually, question mark? Or I haven't figured out yet on how to do that.
Nope, you can't.
You can't.
No,
So
you have to use the fighter coins.
you have to use the
And you cannot buy the exact amount of fighter coins you need to buy to get Rashid.
that is I did not notice because I
Shades
didn't
of
bother.
Come!
Oh boy.
It's like it's kind of similar. You think this is bad? Sorry to go on a bit of a tangent. It's quite similar to what Destiny 2 is doing. So they increased their battle pass price from 1,000 silver, which is $10, to 1,200 silver, which is $12.
Oh boy.
The amount of silver you can buy in their shop, there is one that you can buy for 1,000 silver, but they give you 100 bonus, and then 1,500 silver, and they give you like 200 bonus. And I'm like, wow. So this battle pass's true price is $15, not 12.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Ay. So I'm guessing
Modern gaming.
Oh shit. You already paid so much money for the base game. And then so yeah. I think it's a good call in my part not to get whatever the hell the deluxe edition and the ultimate edition is. But I guess for just the base game it's worth it.
Oh yeah.
Your thoughts?
Me, I still think it's a bit too hefty. Like $70? I don't know. That extra $10 is steep as shit. That extra $10 is steep as hell. I can't defend this game for 70. For 60, I can.
Really.
I can for 60 because like outside of World Tour, which already is almost like a different game altogether, you already have a lot of battle modes. Like, yeah, you have Tekken Ball. Yeah, you have the bull mode as well, and then you have the fucking electricity shit, and then the ultimate battle, the challenge mode shit.
I love that one.
Yeah, like that's really cool. It's just, fun side shit. And people forget this isn't the first time Capcom has done it. And you're like, what? They did this before? Rival schools, guys. Rival schools. You know, I spent more time with the sports mini games than the actual fighting game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because Rival Schools has a lot. It even has, I don't know why, but Japan. Like, there is a mini game where you control like the hot anime school nurse that gives a massage, and I'm like, what even is this mini game? But you know what? It's there. Okay, it's there, I guess.
Wait, does that mean, man? Okay, Street Fighter needs to take a idea from this because I'd love the dating simulator with Manon.
Yes.
Please.
But yeah, like Rival Schools was filled to the brim with just not just like, you know, fun battle modes, but yeah, mini games and shit. Like, I don't know, like just off the top of my head, like there could be like a rhythm game mode with Manon, I guess, or like a workout mini game with, say, Zangief and Marissa. That would be cool. That would be cool.
I would love that. I would
I'd
love
play
that.
that shit just for the lulz.
You hook up your Wii Fit adventure.
Oh my god. Wii Fit Adventure. I'm not sure about that.
or some motion capture stuff, and then you know, like what Animal Crossing did with the whole yoga thing.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, something like that. That'll be funny. Or give me a dating sim with Manon, please. Or with you know, I think Nico would definitely love a dating sim with Jury.
Well, I know a lot of people would definitely like a stealth mini game with Cammy, I guess. I don't know how that would work. But
Third person point of view, and then you crouch and you have the classic costume on.
oh no.
Over the shoulder Cammy.
Over the shoulder, like it's Metal Gear Solid 5 or RE4.
Yeah.
No, wait. We already have that because I modded Cammy into RE4.
Right, you did.
I did mod that shit.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And just a slight tangent, like, because they announced that they're adding Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg in COD, I know what I'm paying my modder to do. I'm paying my modder to mod Nicki Minaj into RE4.
Oh my god. So
just for the lulz, because it's funny. Alright, alright, next question. Oh wait, sorry. Just to recap, right? So basically, for the price tag, I cannot defend it for 70. I can definitely defend it for 60. But if I were to say hypothetical, okay? Hypothetical, if the trio of fighting games went for sale, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Tekken, for the same price, Street Fighter. Easy decision.
oh, true.
Easiest decision. If right now, if you had to pick a AAA fighting game that went on sale for like $30, it can be DNF, it can be Strive, it can be Tekken 7, hell, like right now, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6. I'd still pick Street Fighter 6. Because the amount of content you can do alone is really, really fucking good. It's, yeah, there's just a lot to do. And sorry, any gatekeepers who plays World Tour, shut up. You do not speak for everyone who buys the game. All right.
Agreed. World Tour is amazing.
It's part of the game. That's why it's priced at $70. Be glad they did not make multiplayer free. And then you had to buy each character. Like,
oh boy.
I don't know.
Versus.
All right. Next question, and I actually do like this question. How do you feel about the balancing of the game 1 month after its release?
Here
I come! Here I come! Time to get serious! This is your last ride!
You go first! You go.
Okay,
You
I'll
go
go
first. I have a long tangent for this one.
No problem, no problem. Okay. So from what I have learned from closed beta, open beta, and launch Street Fighter 6, I would say it's almost to take a note from DNF Duel, everyone has their own bullshit. Except Ryu. Except Ryu. Ryu is too honest. He like, I can imagine like Capcom was like, okay guys, here is a table of bullshit. Feel free to partake. And Ryu was like, no. I will not be lulled by the Satsui no Hana. Are you sure? No. So I mean, just to go on like a very quick let me just bring up the roster, right? Let me just bring up the roster image.
Okay, go ahead.
So to go with hang on. Alright, so everyone has their bullshit, okay? Everyone has their bullshit. Alright, let's start with the basics, okay? Outside of Ryu, because Ryu is too honest. Luke has his Sandblast, like he has arguably one of the best projectiles in the game.
Yep.
And of course his perfect strings. Yeah. And then Jamie's entire kit, if you know how to play it right, is total bullshit. Like Jamie is really, really fucking a really fucking good character. Just have to answer a phone call, yeah. Chun-Li, her, a lot of people complained about her stance, her crouch stance. I think it's really fucking good. And her damage output is just insane. Like it's really good. For Guile, of course, Guile's perfect everything. That is total bullshit. Kimberly is the most balanced bullshit on the roster, I think. Is the most balanced bullshit on the roster, I think. They don't need to nerf her. So the only thing she should be getting is buffs, not nerfs. Shuri, again, with her really good neutral stings, and of course, FSE, if you actually know how to play Marvel vs. Capcom, is a really fucking solid character. And again, a low projectile. A low fucking projectile, which is really fucking good. Ken, oh boy. Shinrai, Ura! The running stance, and of course, heavy punch and heavy kick. Ken is just way too fucking good.
Flowchart the character.
Flowchart, yes. Yeah. Blanca! I mean, you can just misspell Blanca to Unga and yeah, total bullshit. Dalsim still has bullshit because of his fucking long limbs, but you add to that, like, that's all he has. You forget that this game has Drive Rush. That is when he becomes scary. So yeah. Yeah. And then for E Honda, oh boy, do I really need to spend more than 10 seconds? Headbutt, slam, grapple. Okay, moving on. Moving on. DJ, you may as well just call him Drive Rush. You just may as well call him Drive Rush. No, one of my favorite memes, Blue.
Yeah. Somebody
fucking photoshopped DJ doing Drive Rush right next to a fucking bullet train. So Shinkansen, and I'm like, that is the new logo of the Shinkansen right there. Okay, Manon. You know, you cannot spell Manon and medals without M, which is upside down for W. All right. Enough said. Okay. Same goes for Marissa. You cannot spell Marissa without M, which is upside down for W. Marissa's, it's just eating a lot, okay? Like plus frames for days, damage up the ass. Even on classic controls, very low execution. Has just about everything. She has a command grab, she has an anti-air, she has Mexican, she has armor break, she has super armor. Like, damn. The only thing she doesn't have is a projectile. But technically, she is the projectile. But anyway, JP. Oh boy, JP. The cane summons the bullshit. Okay, everything coming from that cane is bullshit. Like, imagine, like, oh, you can jump Jury's projectile. You can jump Luke's projectile. JP though, not after you're on block stun. Good luck. Like, don't. Just fucking don't. All right. Next is, of course, Zangief. He's a grappler. What else can I say, dude? What else can I say about Zangief? He has a grapple. Enough said. Okay. I do believe though that he could use a buffer too. Other than his like bullshit grapple damage, like he is lacking somewhere. And I would say though he is not suffering as much as Lily though. Lily is in a really good spot right now. And yeah, like of course, command grab.
With options.
With options. She's basically Zangief with a lot of options, which makes her immediately better than Zangief. Arguably, okay? Arguably.
Okay.
The only thing she doesn't have is an air grab. If she had an air grab, then why would you pick Zangief when Lily exists? I mean, even her neutral buttons are way better than Zangief, in my opinion. Anyway, next, of course, we have Kami. What can I say? I mean, she's a speedster that deals a shit ton of damage for a speedster. Especially the fact that she has that 50-50 like Oki wake up mix up. If you guess wrong, it's immediate, like 75% of your health is just gone. When I mean by good chaos, I'm talking about bullshit. Okay?
Yeah.
Like on the context of bullshit. Everyone has their good bullshit, but like in terms of like, for example, if I compare Lily's bullshit to say Ken's bullshit, Lily needs buffs, that's for sure. But she has bullshit though. She does have bullshit. Like, I'm just talking about balance in terms of bullshit. I'm not talking about balance because I really don't care about balance. I care about fun. Let me just put that on the table. So yeah. And of course, there's Rashid. I mean, I'm not gonna comment on Rashid because Rashid is fresh, but he looks like he does have a fair amount of bullshit. So basically, everyone has bullshit in this game. Everyone has bullshit in this game. Every character, in my opinion, has at least a glaring issue. Whether it be they are too strong or too weak. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. Whether they are too strong or too weak, every character has a problem. And I think that is generally a good thing. Chaos, even though Lily's BS is easy to counter, it is still BS. It is still bullshit. If she would be worse if she didn't have it. My whole point is that does she have bullshit? Yeah. Like, sure, her bullshit is not as good as Kimberly's bullshit, Ken's bullshit, Kami's bullshit, hell, even Manon's bullshit, or Jamie's bullshit. But she does have it, though. She does have it, though.
True.
But yeah, that's my stance. Like, I know it's not really balanced in the conventional sense, but yeah, my whole stick with every fighting game is that does every character feel fun to play, and what is their bullshit? That's really all I'm concerned about.
Okay.
All right, Blue. So your turn.
Okay. So let me start off with the meme everybody's probably gonna look for me.
Whoops.
Buff Manon, please. Anyway, okay. So, okay. Balance issues to this game. I do agree with you 100% that every character in this game has their own bullshit, and every character has some loopholes, and every character has every character should be fun to play. I agree. But I do hope that at some point that it is fun to play across every skill level. And like, okay, like no lie, right?
Mhm.
Manon in high skill level is not getting fun for me, which is genuinely kind of upsetting. But I love her to bits, right?
Mm.
At like since we're talking about the first month of Street Fighter 6, right?
Mhm.
Everybody was genuinely afraid about the whole 5 medal stack of Manon and how broken it could be and how it has to be brought about every round. The higher your rank is, then the higher the skill floor is starting to look like. It's starting to make sense to why she has to keep all 5 medals all throughout every round, because it is getting harder and harder to get those medals day in day out. But I love your point of view, right? That every character is fun to play. Every character is, yeah, every character has their own BS. But like, I'm just thinking that this kind of level of BS should still be good and fun to play in higher level eventually. At lower level, this is fun. This is definitely, everybody is generally really fun, right? Let me talk about them one by one too, like how you did. Let's start off. I'm doing it like alphabetical order.
Yeah, good.
So Blanca at high level, genuinely annoying, but a lot of BS. I'm sure a lot of people who play Blanca, and by generally the 5 people who play Blanca, the 5 people who play Blanca there's so few of you guys, I swear. But like, Blanca in itself, very, very, I can tell is one of those characters that's just truly Onga in nature, and probably the most funkiest looking moves that you just kind of have a hard time reading, and I like that bullshit about him. Cammy, physical pain.
It's okay, let it out.
Cammy, 50-50 mix-ups. Oh my god, fun. Anyway, Chun-Li. Chun-Li is okay. I think out of everyone, I think Chun-Li for me has a very good tool set. It's just the tool set in itself is where the bullshit comes in, wherein it's just too good of a tool set. DJ, hey. DJ, yeah, excellent amount of bullshit, excellent projectiles, really fun character, fun personality. I'll have to agree with that. I'm sure a lot of people enjoy playing him. Dulcim, this is the one character I am generally excited for in terms of like high level stuff, because I'm really looking forward to fighting more Dulcims in the future, considering that I still think that he has the most untapped potential out of a lot of the character roster here, and untapped bullshit that we're still waiting for.
Oh yeah.
At this point. Carman. Headbutt. Guile, okay. Guile.
Perfect.
Perfect. Fighting with Excel. Perfect grab. Perfect. Guile definitely. I think out of a lot of them, I think I respect Guile a lot, despite of his BS, right? Because it's just simple bare bones gameplay, and I think that despite of the most vanilla Ryu in existence, I think Guile is a little too overshadowed in terms of like how vanilla the character is. But I think Guile is just straight up a great character.
Oh yeah.
Jamie is another thing. It's another thing that I also would put in parallel with Dulcim, is that this character has ridiculous amount of untapped potential, and I think a lot of people in Plat and Diamond are still trying to figure him out, are still trying to uncover what else he's very much capable of.
TLDR, don't listen to what Chica says about JB, okay? He's just
Agreed.
coping. Anyway,
Agreed.
moving on. You were
Moving on.
saying?
Yeah. JP. JP, he has a lot of good stuff, but at the same time, a crazy amount of flaws.
Yes, it
What I
does.
really find cool about JP is that the ridiculous amount of offense he has makes up for his terrible defense. That's basically it. Jury, Miko, I love you. Moving on. Ken. Moving on, Ken.
Jinrai, Ura!
Ura.
Gets this, Ura!
For me, I think Ken is the most. I think Ken is probably the like how I said about Chun-Li, right? Chun-Li's tool set is what makes her bullshit. It's Ken's level of vanilla that makes him bullshit.
Let's
Like-
get it, Ura! Sorry,
Like,
I can't stop watching this one fucking clip of someone like my it's not the same person who said like my picture for buffs for Zangief where it's literally Dalsim's crouching heavy that grapples. Basically it's Ken doing his Jinrai, but it loops into every variation. So the low will launch and the overhead will bounce and the high will like floaty. So it's basically it sounds like Jinrai, Ura, Ura, Ura. I'm like, oh my god.
true. Oh my god. Okay.
You were saying
Kim. I think Kim is very interesting.
oh, yeah.
Out of all of the new entries in this game, I generally think Kim is such a welcoming and honest presence into this game.
Yes.
I don't think, as much as people really think that she's loaded with bullshit, I really, in comparison to everybody else, I think her bullshit is just the right amount.
Oh yes, I agree.
You know, like, she's definitely not a vanilla character. That's 100%.
That's why I
But,
said
like,
she's the most honest she has the most honest bullshit in the game.
I agree.
Her bullshit
100
is not frustrating, but you're like,
Exactly. Lily, I feel bad for her. You know, like she was the one character that we thought would be broken from the get-go. And then eventually which we'll talk about Manon later. Lily is one of those sad examples of like, you know, her bullshit is already easily exploited at this point. And it's kind of sad that it's going to be a little too hard to enjoy this character, especially in high level. Luke is Luke. I think in comparison to Ryu, like Luke is just the right amount of bullshit as well. Right? Just the right amount as well. He's not tough to fight, but like he's just genuinely a good Shoto, a welcoming, fresh take of what a Shoto should be, if I may say that. Skipping Manon, we'll talk about her. Marissa, sole bad guy of goddamn Street. I think that's the best way to put this goddamn character. Like crazy amount of damage, good strings and everything. It's a good thing, despite of her crazy amount of offense, she doesn't have that crazy amount of good defensive options aside from her parry. But that's about it. Like she's fun. Ryu is Ryu. You know, pick up a vanilla piece of ice cream.
Yum.
You know, it's yum. Sorry, I had to go there. But yeah, Ryu is Ryu. I don't think we can expand that any further. Zangief, grappler is a grappler. Bullshit is bullshit. True enough. Okay, let's talk about my girl Manon.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Like what I mentioned all throughout, I like what we mentioned about Street Fighter 6, that this game has a honeymoon period, and every character has a honeymoon period as well. And I think a lot of us Manon mains would say we had a good honeymoon with her. You know, we had a good one. Like this is becoming a little sad in higher rank. You know, like in this, like how I explained Lily, in higher rank she's just starting to be way too exploited. But Manon really needs work. Really needs some work. Like at first, a lot of people are like, yeah, the 5 medals are broken, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. It makes sense. It makes sense at first that, you know, this is how people would see her. But eventually, once, you know, you being being able to play Street Fighter 6 and how in higher levels and how it's starting to not feel fun at some point is starting to really aggravate me a little bit. But I think in the end of the day, she can still work. But in comparison to everybody else, like she's just genuinely in a tight spot right now. So balancing wise, overall in this game is fantastic. It's just that what I do really find hard to agree when it comes to the fun bullshit and stuff like that is when it starts disappearing little by little once you go into higher ranks. And I do believe eventually, whenever they start patching things out, I do wish that Manon does get a little bit more love, just so she can definitely face Cammy, Chun-Li with confidence, Jamie more importantly with confidence. Because what I want eventually in this game is that you pick a character, you train, and in the higher ranks you keep training, and you would approach probably a good 60 to 80% of these characters with confidence. That's what I kind of want to feel, you know? Like, I don't want to go into rank and then suddenly I see an Honda and I'm like, or suddenly see literally 80% of this roster and I'm like, you know what I mean? So like, I want to be able to like, oh, okay, I can handle this. Oh, okay, I can handle this. Like at least 60% of the time instead of like 80% of the time. Sure, that could be me, skill issue wise and stuff like that. But, like again, from a bunch of Manon mains, I think that we're just having a bit of a goofy time right now. That's the most I can say. Just a bit of a goofy time. But for entry level for all of these characters, I'm sure every one of these are going to be fun, especially on modern controls. Especially on modern controls, every character here is about really fun personality wise. I'm sure you can find someone you can really vouch for and stuff like that. But overall, balancing is good. It still needs a little bit more work. Oh, I forgot about Rashid. He's cool.
I mean, Rashid's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
The guy dabs in the middle of the fight. You can't get mad at that.
Can't get mad at that. But yeah, I think that's all I can say about the whole roster. Balancing is good, really good. It feels like, it kind of feels like Guilty Gear Strive's current state in terms of in terms of character balancing, because I think, genuinely speaking, Capcom has been taking notes out of other fighting games and how well balanced their character roster is currently. And Street Fighter 6 is so far is okay. I wouldn't say it's great in terms of balance.
For me, my metric of good balance, if a character cannot get to the top 3 ranks, which is Plat, Diamond, and Master, that's bad balance.
Exactly.
That for me is my metric. So the fact that every character realistically can at least get the Plat at the least, that's hella good.
True.
And even for fuck's sake, like Zangief clearly has Zangief and Lily and even Manon clearly has some buffs they need. But there are master players of said character, which means it's not that they are weak, it's that compared to the stronger characters, they could use a little bit more buffs.
Yep.
That, in my opinion, is very good balancing. If your entire roster can get to the top 3 populated ranks in this kind of ranking system, which is basically Plat, Diamond, Master, that is very good balancing. That is very good balancing in my opinion.
But Honda can still eat shit. Anyway.
I agree. Honda can eat shit, man.
Honda can eat shit. Anybody who picks this character is a degenerate, and they know it. And they know it. But yeah, I think just to finish up my point. Yeah, so far there are still characters that definitely need help, and that's about it. Geef XL.
Man,
Holy shit.
I remember. Sorry, when you mentioned Honda, I remember that guy who made that. My vision for Honda buffs, the Duskoi goes straight into butt slap. I'm like,
No! Who in the hell?
I saw that edit. It's the same person who edited Zangief to have the stretch arms that Dalsim has, and then SPD.
Oh my god. That sounds like a terrible. Can I please have that for Manon, please? I don't mind her having elastic arms.
Oh wait, no, Blue. Like, can you imagine if Manon did her fucking did Dalsim's what's this? The stretch legs. But when that happens, she transitions into her strike throw.
Wait, that and think about this too, right? You know the Misatsu animation for demon, right?
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about that for Manon's command grab in full screen. like, like I got you. Oh my god,
man. Does it just dawned on me? Does Zangief have a better reaching level 3 than Manon?
yes. Everything Geef has more extended range for his command grabs than Manon does. The only thing that Manon has better is just that her command grabs has some kind of slow moving forward motion depending on the variant, except for the EX one.
It's also easier to input.
Yes,
it is easier to input.
I hate it that you guys have a easier. Well, okay, here's another thing too, right? What like command grab comparisons, right? Please, for fuck's sakes, give Manon a longer DR. I'm praying to God. Like, she has the worst DR in the game. Like, everybody else can literally travel full screen with their DR, and Manon's just like, let me just bunny hop real quick in front of you. I'm like, like, I kid you not how many times I had to DR and like think in the middle of it just to think, oh, I can't reach. I could probably just jump backwards instead, and like, never mind, I tried that. That was embarrassing.
I feel low-key kind of sad though for you as a Manon player, because like one of your Oki tools, which is the overhead Fudra arc, on block, if Kami is close enough, she can just level 3 you in the face for a punish counter.
Yep.
I'm like, oh no.
And then that sucks is that the other Oki options aside from the overhead is I need to have DR.
Yeah.
Which is like she's starting to feel a bit more resource heavy than she should be. You know, like at first, like the initial impression is that she's not gonna use the whisper meter. Like, I can't keep doing these overheads all the time. It works on Chica, sure, but like, but like, you know, like, my girl needs work, dude. She needs work. That's all I can say. But everything else, again, on its current state, it feels good. It's just that on higher level, it's just some characters are falling a little bit behind.
Yep. And again, at least it's in comparison to the rest of the cast, not in comparison to themselves.
Yes.
Which is really good. Good.
I agree.
All right. To end on this, let's wrap it up. What are your final thoughts for Street Fighter 6 a month after its release?
Oh,
general thoughts. Let's just wrap it up in a nice bag.
Successful. 100% successful.
100%.
Surpassed my expectations. Surpassed a lot of people's expectations. I see this game going for as long as Street Fighter 5.
Ooh.
In terms of success, and in terms of like the whole esports scene for sure, because definitely this has surpassed every, and I will say this with 100%, every existing Street Fighter, and probably every fighting game in existence of current time. That's, you know, I'm putting my high phrases there. It's just that they have set the benchmark of what a good modern fighting game should be. That's it. That's how I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay. Well, for me personally, I also will agree that Street Fighter 6 definitely has done it again in terms of like a big fighting game setting a trend where The last time they did this was Street Fighter 4, where Street Fighter 4 was the revival of the fighting game esports scene. Without Street Fighter 4, we wouldn't have Evo today. Still.
True.
Tekken 7 was a basically resistance of the whole fighting games are dead because MVCI, Street Fighter 5, no big Guilty Gear game after Rev 2. That and Smash. The biggest fighting game at that time was Smash 4. So yeah, a lot of people were like really pessimistic. Like, really, our conventional games suck right now, except for Tekken 7. When Tekken 7 released, it released at the perfect time for once because every other fighting game was just trash. And we say that in a nice way. And then Guilty Gear Strive set a precedent with, does it have rollback? Every question you get now with the fighting game's netcode, you can thank Strive for that. Because it was a game that maybe we didn't... I don't know, I hate to sound cliche. We probably didn't want, but we needed. Because
Agreed.
It came out during COVID. A lot of us probably did not want to play Guilty Gear because of a lot of things. Like, maybe it's too anime, not a fan of the aesthetic, what the fuck is Guilty Gear, why is the gear guilty, who is so bad, whatever. But we may not have wanted Guilty Gear Strive, but we needed Guilty Gear Strive because netcode. Like, COVID could have ended the scene without Guilty Gear Strive. It could have.
Yep.
And then we now have Street Fighter 6, where it's a revitalization of what a fighting game should be. And basically, a fighting game should still be a game, right? It should have single player content, multiple multiplayer content, and then of course you have the best of the best things that have been introduced in fighting games right now, which is really good netcode, cross-platform, accessibility, that kind of thing. Like, SF6 is basically what a complete fighting game is like, because of course most games after Strive, the priority was netcode and nothing else. Like, there's nothing else that will pull you in outside of the netcode, so why even bother? I mean, it was barely a fighting game. It's just a fighting platform. That's it. Like, you're not really playing a game. You're just fighting other people in said thing. Because after you're done fighting people, what do? Nothing. But at least SF... Oh?
DNF2. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but SF6 at least keeps you engaged. And yeah, basically, yep. So yes, SF6 definitely revitalized what a complete fighting game should be. Right now, I think SF6 is the current benchmark. Like, it definitely is the benchmark for every fighting game out there. Like, if they want to release a fighting game that will receive as much praise, hype, and noise, especially if they plan to release it with a price tag of $70 to $60, they need to look at Street Fighter 6, because no one else will buy Tekken 7 with Tekken 8's mechanics and graphics if all it has is Tekken 7 content for $70. No one will do that without hating the game. Because personally, I would, because I fucking love Tekken. I can't remove that. But I will be supremely pissed if they don't do, like, anything that SF6 has been doing. Because SF5, for those who have tried it, it's practically as bare bones of a fighting game as it is.
Yep.
The one fighting game that has been constantly doing this so far is Mortal Kombat, which is why Mortal Kombat is still relevant, no matter how many people make fun of the animations, the fatalities, the characters. Y'all can make fun of it, go ahead. But you cannot discount the fact that Mortal Kombat has been nailing single-player content in a fighting game when the other bigger, quote-unquote, bigger fighting games have been failing. And that, in my opinion, is a big testament. Miko hopes that Project L is taking notes. Obviously, yes, definitely. I mean, I know some of you do not know the world of League of Legends or basically Runeterra, but the world building in that game is really, really good. If they do not do single player content for Project L, I'll be supremely disappointed because I think that'll be such a waste of a big potential.
Agreed.
But anywho, that's basically my take. And of course, you heard Blue's take on SF6 1 month after its release. It's definitely a very huge success.
Agreed.
1 month after its release, but of course, we'll wait for the next big hurdle, which is 1 year after its release.
I'll see you then.
Hopefully. Well, we'll see when Tekken 8 releases.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that is a big question. Anyway, before I end the stream, of course, I want to hand the red carpet to Blue for a bit. If you have any shoutouts or upcoming streams, you feel free to promote it right now.
All right. Promoting a little announcement. I am now a verified user of Gank. I have a check mark now. Cool. And streams as per usual from Mondays to Thursdays. I do have a special stream coming on Monday, which is not a fighting game. For once, I'm gonna bring out the Filipino in me. That's all I can say. I think that's the only clue of what I'm gonna be playing.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I will not say it.
Yep.
Because I believe that Spraytag suggested me to it the other day. I'm like, no. I'm like, no. no thanks.
I knew you would say spray tag. He's been crazy about it. Okay.
Don't get me wrong though, I hope it does well but here's the thing, I hope it's accurate. It better be fucking accurate, okay? It better be fucking accurate. There should be people like stealing shit inside of that. People screaming at the top of their lungs like para or something.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
It has to be accurate, okay? It has to be accurate. There should be people passing out coins to the front and then the coins drop or something or whatever. It has to be accurate, okay? I don't give a shit if the graphics are dog shit or if the sound design is bad. I just want it to be accurate because, goddammit, that is what that kind of game should be. The second word of blank blank, it has to be accurate.
Agreed.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
All good. Okay, as for yours truly, I will be taking a break. I will be playing Tekken 8 later, and as I mentioned, streaming also. Streaming Tekken 8 later, I will be trying out King. I'll be trying out King.
Help me.
No problem. Alright, we'll see you in our respective streams. Bye everyone, take care. Sayonara otsuko deshita. Watashi ni hai shinikite kurete hontou ni koue desu. Arigatou gozaimashita. Terima kasih untuk datang ke streamnya. Sampai jumpa. We will see you in our respective streams, Bluerillas and Foxtrots. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.